Welcome back to the vlog, guys. This is Kyle Bethune with Being Bethunes, and thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Today, as I'm filming this, is January the 25th, 2024. My birthday eve, the eve to my 38th birthday. I was born 37 years and 364 days ago this day. Anyways, guys, again, thanks for being here. We are headed over to Lakeland, Florida today. Jen has a speaking engagement with a bunch of ladies for the chamber there in Lakeland, Florida, and I'm just going to be popping around looking for some cool stuff to look at. I really have not much of a plan. I'm somewhat familiar with Lakeland. I grew up not too far from there, so I have been there off and on throughout my life, and it's a rather cool little downtown area. We're going to walk around and see if we can maybe find some cool stuff to look at. But first, coffee with oat milk, please, no sweeteners. I'd like a venti iced matcha with oat milk and a dab of honey. Honey, just a little bit of honey.
Oh, honey, okay. All right, anything else?
That'll do it. First place I want to stop at, I'm going to wheeling in here to Tiger Town here in Lakeland, Florida. It's the spring training home to the Detroit Tigers. Probably my favorite spring training facility that I used to go to. I always loved spring training. It runs usually the month of March. And this one has been the home of the Lakeland Tigers. Well, they have the Lakeland Tigers minor league team, but I'm pretty sure the Detroit Tigers have been coming here for, God, probably since the 60s maybe. I remember coming here as a kid, seeing Sparky Anderson and Cecil Fielder and some of those old-timer Tigers, the legendary Tigers here. But it's a lovely field, lovely facility. This is by far my favorite one in this area. The Yankees practice in this, or spring train in this area. You know, tons of teams come to Florida every year for spring training. So Joker Marchant Field, Publix Field here in Lakeland. This is I don't know, they built this facility probably 20 years ago. Really cool spot. I really used to enjoy coming to spring training games. I would travel the circuit. I would go see the Yankees, the Phillies spring trained over in Clearwater, but for some reason Lakeland was always my favorite. Our first actual stop here in Lakeland, not our first drive-through, which was Joker Marchant Stadium, is the First Presbyterian Church here in Lakeland, Florida. They have a pretty sweet mural outside here. It looks like they have like either a daycare center or some sort of school here. But we're actually here because Jen has a public speaking engagement here today. Jen is speaking to a group of women in the Lakeland Chamber of Commerce today about happiness, how to find your happiness and how to live a happier life, which I personally cannot think of a better person to teach that subject.
Thanks, babe.
So we're gonna come in here real quick and see what they got going on. Then me and you are gonna go out and explore this lovely town of Lakeland, Florida. Wow, this is a lovely church. This is Lakes Hollingsworth pointed out here in front of me. But look at this place. My goodness, absolutely beautiful here. We don't exactly know where we're going yet, but I don't mind that. I'm enjoying walking around the grounds here. Large, massive steeple, not even large. I would classify that as a massive steeple.
Speaker. Jen Bethune is a wife, a mother, and she's also a full-time content creator. So, Jen, without further ado, come on.
So I want to show you some statistics before we get into this chat. 1 in 5 U.S. adults live with a mental illness. And overall happiness, 83% of Americans are at least somewhat satisfied with their personal life. That sounds kind of crummy, huh? Like somewhat satisfied? Like we get one life, y'all, and we have one shot at living it. And let's stop this rat race and doing things because everybody else tells us to do them. And I went up to him and said, all right, let's do it. And that was the beginning of our happily ever after.
Didn't she do incredible? It's like, guys, she is made for this. But I came out real quick and no, I think they're over. The bells were jingling on the church. I absolutely love that. But now we're gonna go see what we can get into. So we're here at Florida Southern College, which houses Frank Lloyd Wright's single largest collection of architecture in the world, meaning on the Florida Southern property, how they have more of his structures and his designs than anywhere else in the world. This place is pretty incredible. Believe it, I grew up again not even 45 minutes from here, and I have never stepped foot here. But look at this. It's just absolutely awesome. It's to be said that Florida Southern has one of the most beautiful, definitely unique campuses in the country. But look at this. This is what they call the Water Dome. Almost completely adjacent to the church we were just at. This absolutely magnificent college campus is housed here in a small town in Central Florida. Funny enough, my uncle actually was the quarterback for this school back in the 1970s. He went here getting his bachelor's degree in horticulture back in the 1970s. He went on to end his college football playing days here, but my family does have a little bit of history in this very school. But it is an absolutely awesome place. There's tons to see down here. There is a visitor center. I don't know a lot about that, but I was driving by and I thought, you know, I kind of figured I should pop in here and check this out real quick, because it is a really cool spot to check out. Definitely reminds me of a time of yesteryear for sure, but I absolutely love this fountain. It's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, it doesn't hurt. That is an absolutely impeccable day here in Central Florida. A bit humid. I'd say we're running upper 70s, but as I was getting back in the Jeep, I saw a group walk by. They do offer tours here. I believe you pick them up at the visitor center. That would be an awesome thing to check out, because it is very impressive. Even this building here in front of me, it's like a rounded shape. It's just unique. I mean, I love architecture. I mean, I don't know anything about it. I just like looking at it. As far as telling you what I'm looking at, I have absolutely no idea, but pretty cool spot to check out if you're into that sort of thing. I was actually heading to grab a bite to eat, and I saw this store here. It's called Play It Again Sports. That's a Florida thing, or at least I've never seen them anywhere else. But they sell used sporting equipment, so you can bring gear here that you no longer use, and they will buy it from you, and then they resell it. So Eli has been wanting some cleats, so I'm gonna run in here real quick and see what I can find. So yeah, they have like all kind of, pretty much any sport they cover. But they do also sell new stuff. So yeah, Eli's playing soccer, and been telling him we're gonna get some cleats, but I haven't seen one of these stores. So I've said next time I saw one, I'd wheel in and grab him some cleats. But he needs, I think he wears like a size 1.5. And he's not like a picky kid, so I don't think he really cares, you know, much what he gets. I think he'll be pretty grateful for whatever it is he gets. I don't know, I literally know nothing about soccer cleats. But I guess anything is better than what he currently has. Those are cool. So yeah, I mean, $10. I mean, you know, they're in really good condition. They probably use for a season, but I mean, for a kid that's just learning soccer, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't know. I'll still keep looking, see what I can find. I think he's a size 1, and they seem to have quite a few in that size. But I was also thinking, here's a 1.5. I was also thinking that might be a better option for him, given that he's not here to try them on. I would think I would want them to be a little larger than smaller. I think we can make these work. I think I'm gonna go with these. But yeah, I mean, as you can tell, this is a massive store. They have a little bit of everything. Even have some really nice looking bikes over here. Wow. Snow or wakeboards over there. Yeah, I used to frequent the one in our hometown where we lived when Ben was really into baseball, and I would be in there all the time, either buying stuff or selling some of his stuff that he's either outgrown or no longer used. So my next stop brings me here to Mission Barbecue. I started eating at Mission probably about a decade ago. They built one in the previous town that we had lived in, and it's a pretty solid stop. It's a chain, but it's a regional chain, but they do a pretty good job. Pretty stoked. I've been craving some barbecue lately, so I'm pretty excited. I went with the 3-meat sampler. I got a 1/3 pound of jalapeno cheddar cheese sausage, a 1/4 pound of pulled pork, and a 1/4 pound of moist brisket. I went with 2 sides. I got fries and macaroni and cheese. They also sell this American Hero Cup, and a good portion of the funds go to different first responder and military organizations. It's the jalapeno cheddar sausage. I don't know exactly where they have this made, but it's pretty fantastic. They have it and they smoke it along with their other barbecue. It's a solid pick. Next up is the pulled pork. I think this was probably my second favorite thing on the sampler. Really good flavor, not overly fatty, which I do like that. I wish there would be a little more bark or crunch to it, but not bad. Moist brisket. It's a pretty solid brisket. I've had this quite a few times in the past. Not Texas quality, but it's pretty dang close. I also got macaroni and cheese. The macaroni and cheese is pretty good. It's more like a macaroni and cheese bake like I tend to make sometimes. Pretty solid pick. I also do love their fries. They do fresh cut potatoes. Pretty hard to beat those. Anytime I see those on the menu, I usually snatch those up. Mission Barbecue, it's decorated, obviously Mission being the name. They're very American driven, very American military, first responder type place. Well, our next stop here in Lakeland brings us to the Southgate Shopping Center, home to one of the famous scenes from the Tim Burton classic Edward Scissorhands, starring the young Johnny Depp. This is a movie I watch every year, but this is a legendary, or at least in this area, probably the most well-known structure in the entire town. It has obviously changed a lot in the last, I don't know, the movie came out in 1990, so what would that be, 34 years? But a lot of it's still the same. It has these massive arches that lead all the way up to the sign, across the sign, anchoring it to the large shopping facility here. Still to this day, Publix, which is, we talked a little bit earlier, is still one of probably the anchor store here in this plaza. The area we're in is actually the area, the reason for the filming here was where Joyce, which was starred by Kathy Baker, tried to seduce the young Edward, the young Johnny Depp in her hair salon. I don't exactly know which studio was hers, but I am pretty confident it's one of these here, dead center in the shopping plaza, right behind the sign. It has like a little cutout area that seems to have smaller shops that are obviously connected to the main anchor store here. For the most part, from the arch, even a little bit to the north, all the way down to the south side of the building is still relatively the same, probably as it was in 1990, or even further back, probably the way it's been since the day it was built. So I really appreciate that when the powers that be, the businessmen of the world, decide to hold on to some of this history and leave it be for future generations to look at and be able to look back on and enjoy it, to watch these movies and to go to places like this. I don't know, it excites me, and surely there's other people out there that like looking at this sort of stuff too. So as we're leaving the Southgate Shopping Plaza, I just had this overwhelming joy and gratitude come over me, guys. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for those of you who show up video in and video out and watch my videos. I'm truly getting to live an amazing life that I absolutely love, getting to explore all these amazing places with you guys and go to all these amazing restaurants, and I thoroughly love doing it. I do. It's my goal to do this full time within the next year. I'm putting in a lot of work. I plan to continue putting out a video every other day for the foreseeable future. I finally found my groove back. We started this channel over 4 years ago, and those of you who've been around for a while have seen us. We've tried a lot of different stuff, but I just absolutely love going around, traveling the world eventually is the ultimate goal, but traveling the U.S. and just getting to visit amazing places like this, to go to restaurants that just, food feeds my soul, and I love going and experiencing it and talking about it and sharing these spots with you guys. So again, guys, I have so much gratitude and so much love and thanks for you guys following along and supporting me through this journey. Or not just me and Jen and the kids. We're truly getting to live our dream, and I am so grateful for that. And I plan to work my butt off and bring you guys the absolute best content that I possibly can produce. And yeah, guys, just thanks so much. So I'm waiting on Jen to finish up her lunch with her friend that organized a speaking engagement for her. And of course, I found me a good old antique store to stop into. Some Elvis memorabilia here. I'm always a sucker for a good antique store. But yeah, we're just outside of downtown Lakeland, but I guess we're close enough you could even just consider this downtown Lakeland. Oh wow, that's cool right there. Goofy, tricky trapeze. really neat. I have a thing for old toys. As I've been telling Jen recently, if we ever get a place to settle down and I can store some toys, I'm probably going to start collecting vintage toys because I do dig them a lot. Oh, even check out the buses. Those old, what are the name of them things? Bristol? No, they have a name. There's a manufacturer who made a ton of these old double-decker buses in England, and I cannot remember who it is. Let me know in the comments if you remember. I should know this, but I cannot think of it right off the top of my head. Ben has been super into collecting baseball cards recently, so I try to keep an eye out for him when I'm out and about. I'm thinking about grabbing him a pack of these 1988 Major League Baseball, $5 a pack. Let's grab him one of these. He'll appreciate that, as long as he don't chew the gum. So I'm sure when Jen sees this video, she's gonna be like, I cannot believe you went there without me. They actually have an entire cabinet here full of crystals and different gems along the way. And look at this old rock tumbler here. This is so cool. This looks straight out of the 80s to me. For polishing your jewels up. I had one of these when I was a kid, these toy tractors, but mine was a John Deere. This one here's a Kubota. I don't actually know that I've ever even seen a Kubota one. That is super cool. $375 Kubota tractor. Yeah, that is pretty neat. I think my mom still actually has my John Deere one from when I was a kid. Oh yeah, Jen is not going to be happy with me. Not only do they have some pretty awesome antiques, they even have some vintage clothes. And if you guys know, Jen loves vintage clothes. We're not going to tell her that though. She'll probably figure it out in the video, but I'm not going to volunteer that information because she would probably be like, why didn't you go here? We were actually down here last year walking around and we saw this place, but I think whatever day we were here, they happened to be closed that day. So maybe I'll have to bring her down here another day. But you know, she's all whining and dining. I had to entertain myself. Oh gosh, I love that mug. Wow, you may have to come home with me. I don't know why I like skulls. I really don't have a good answer. I just think it's cool. They have some Mickey ones here. This one right here looks pretty old Disney mug. There's one there, looks like a much more modern one. Oh, they have America on Parade. Some Disney characters on those. Looks like they're not mugs, but they're some type of glasses. Well, I tried to buy something from the antique store, but he wouldn't take a card under 10 bucks, and the baseball cards were $5, so I left them there. I mean, I get it. I mean, I've been in business before too. I know the fees eat you up, but I mean, it's 2024. I don't really carry around cash. Anyways, not a big deal. It just wasn't meant to be, but I am in downtown Lakeland again, and I'm gonna head towards wherever Jen is. She told me where she was eating, so we're just gonna head over there real quick and see how her talking engagement went. And I think that's gonna kind of wrap up our time here in Lakeland. I'll show you guys real quick. As I'm walking there, I saw this beautiful mural. Exploring Innovation by James Hicks. Wow, that is colorful and beautiful. My goodness. I really wish I could kind of convey what's going on in the mural, but I really don't even know. I know it says exploring innovation, or whatever that means, but it is absolutely gorgeous though. The main square here in downtown Lakeland is called Munns Park. So this is the main square in downtown Lakeland. They hold a lot of events and stuff down here. I believe there used to be a huge fountain right there. But every Saturday along Kentucky here, pretty good stretch, they have a really, really great farmers market every Saturday of each week that we have been to a couple times, and it is a really great one. I'm gonna show you up here. They got this guy, this statue, he's up on a high wire there. It's kind of hard to see. He's really blending in with the trees, or at least the camera is really not picking him up too well. But it's a Tightline Walker wind chime. He's up there pretty good, suspended above two, it looks like grandfather oak trees here in Munn Park, right in the middle of downtown Lakeland. At this point though, I think I'm ready to get a move on, so I'm gonna see if I can track down Jen and really wanna see how her talk went. I'm kind of anxious to see how she did. I know she did amazing, but see if you get her thoughts on it. I'll show you guys something. I saw this really cool air freshener here. The mountains are calling. It looks like the Rockies to me, and I love the sun. That is so cool. It's got these I don't know what you call that, but it's really these little tassels below. So it's an air freshener. You know what? I think I'm gonna buy this and give it away. So let me know, guys, in the comments if you want this. Put it in the comments where you're from. That way I know you'll be interested in this, and I'm gonna ship it to you, no strings attached. We also just got in some new stickers, and I'll throw in a couple of those too. So yeah, go ahead and comment on this video, and in the next video I'll announce the winner, and I'll ship you this cool little air freshener here. The mountains are calling. I mean, I think I was just drawn to that instantly because they're definitely calling me. And I really love these sunflowers. So yeah, if you're interested, comment where you're commenting from, and then comment whatever you want. If you're interested, I'll ship it to you, no strings attached, and I'll announce who that is in the next old video. Yeah, look who I found, our public speaker. How'd it go?
Hi! Oh my gosh, it went incredible. Those women were so amazing. It was really great to get to speak. I love speaking engagements. And so anytime anyone asks me to speak, I happily come and talk. But it was really cool, so I'm glad that I did it.
All right, so we're heading out of Lakeland, and as I was telling you earlier in the video, Publix's founding was founded right here, and this is their warehouse district. Look at this absolutely giant 3-tiered birthday cake with Publix stamped on the side. They used to have this thing all painted up, but now it just says Publix.
It's a little faded.
Yeah, it's a little faded, but it does still have candles on the top, which I'm sure are lights for passing airplanes, but it's pretty cool. That's always been an attention grabber. When I was a kid coming to Lakeland, that was always the indication that I was pretty close. I really like that. I think that's really special. You know, there's something about water towers in general, and I'm actually going to show you one more as we're driving through. We're heading to my parents' house, one, to pick up the kids, and we're celebrating mine and my mother's birthday. Mine's tomorrow, and my mother's is on Saturday, the 27th. So we're heading that way. We're going to be rolling through Plant City here in a minute. I'll show you guys one more pretty sweet water tower. So here it is, the Plant City Strawberry Water Tower. This thing's been here. I think they did this in the 90s is when they built this thing. It's definitely got to be one of the largest strawberries in the world. But as I've said before, Plant City is the winter strawberry capital of the world. To my last knowledge, they farmed around 11,000 to 12,000 acres of strawberries here each winter. So yeah, this time of year, it's the place to be if you're interested in strawberries. We're having to fill up the old Jeep here. We just left my parents' house, had a nice little dinner. I made fajitas for everybody, and then we had cake and all that fun stuff. It's about 7:30, and we're about an hour drive away, so we're just left. I'm having to fuel up here at the 7-Eleven in Dover, Florida, guys. My hometown, my old stomping grounds. No, I do not want to join. Gas here is $3.19 a gallon. It's kind of remained pretty close to that, at least the last couple fill-ups that I've done. It's been around between $2.99 and about $3.20 a gallon, so it seems to kind of have leveled off here a little bit. Kind of was hoping it would go on down a little bit more, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, we're heading back to Orlando. Call it a night. I'm tired. Gotta get home to those puppies. They need to be walked. They've been locked up most of the day, so they're probably pretty anxious to get out and go on a little walk and go potty. Well, I think that's gonna do it for this video, guys, but don't worry. As always, we'll be back here in a couple days with another old video, and until then, guys, take care of yourselves, and I love you guys. Bye.